it, boys. We
W.
did it. Oh, man. Our first Honolulu Blues victory episode. Oh, feels great, guys. As some listeners may not know, ever since we made the rebrand to Honolulu Blues, our friendly Lions did not do so hot. So it's nice to know that that curse is broken. We have a new streak upon us. The Lions are on a one-game winning streak, which is better than the Bills right now, better than, I'm sure there's a lot of good teams right now that are on losing streaks, but the Lions, they are not. They are undefeated in December. It's going good, boys. It is great. I love that we're all repping some different type of Detroit shirt. Julius, you got the classic Detroit. Nick, the Stafford, and myself, I got, ironically, the Detroit versus the Refs, which doesn't apply to this game. The refs did not completely just F us out of a game in which we probably wouldn't have been surprised if some sort of offensive holding on that last Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown happened. So, yeah, glad the refs did not screw us out of that one. But, boys, the Lions, we are 1-10-1, I believe, 1-12-1. I don't know. We have a win. That's all that matters.
But that's all that matters. We got the one win.
What is going on?
We're going to the Super Bowl because we won a game. It's amazing. Man, let the angels sing. Like, we won a freaking game this year. I'm so happy that we didn't have to do a podcast about a team that went 0-16-1. That would have been just the most dreadful, 4, 5, 6 months of my life. But we don't have to worry about that. We got a win. It didn't look like we wanted to win that game at the end, but we did end up pulling it out. I was so happy. I didn't even get to watch it live. I had to rewatch it. I was refreshing my phone at this really nice, fancy restaurant before I went to a wedding, and no one cared about the Lions. And I'm refreshing my phone, not paying attention to anyone else at the table. Refreshing. Ah, the Lions won! And everyone just looked at me, and I stood up, and I was like, let's go! And it was awesome. Let's go, Lions.
Yes, sir, man. It was great. Julius, where were you when you were watching this game? At home with the fam, or were you out doing something special?
I was down here in Central Texas in my living room watching NFL Sunday Ticket like I have so many times before with my wife and children. And pretty much the whole game went normal, like any other normal Lions game would. Me and my wife were just looking at each other the whole time, like, man, they're gonna lose. We didn't believe they were gonna win, literally, until the game-winning touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown. When Goff snapped the ball, I did not believe that they were about to score a touchdown. I thought this was another letdown. I was excited. I had adrenaline going, but I just did not believe it. And when it happened, that unbelievable feeling just erupted. Like I lost my mind, like we just won a Super Bowl, literally. And my kids and my wife, everybody was happy, hugging, high-fiving. People at my job, fans of all different kind of teams, just congratulating me, like literally. Like, congrats, man. We saw the Lions. We're happy for you. It's a great feeling. Victory Monday, victory week. We have not had it in a whole year, 364 days it took for us to feel that feeling. And to feel that feeling in that fashion, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Amen.
Yeah, man. And it was one of those games where, like, it seemed to be a just typical Lions formula of we come out looking good, have a nice 20-6 lead at half, and then all of a sudden we just blow it away. And I don't know what happened, but I think Jared Goff anamorphed into Matthew Stafford because he looked phenomenal on that last drive. And not even Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, and the whole offense, everyone did everything right. If it was the Godwin screen pass where he juked out a guy and got out of bounds where he ran like 8 yards laterally, or Dan Campbell's play calling, or Jared Goff's good throws, or what. But oh man, we are gonna get into that in a little bit. Did have a little bit news and notes, not a whole lot, but fullback Jason Kaminda was named Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Lions, so cool for him. And then also cool thing that Dan Campbell did was this was really cool. So Amon-Ra, as you guys know, got his first touchdown. And I brought this up to some buddies of mine and said, Well, Jared Goff threw the game-winning touchdown to get his first win. Amon-Ra gets his first career touchdown, and Dan Campbell gets his first career win as a Lion. Who gets the game ball? None of them, because he dedicated it to Oxford community. So hats off to Dan Campbell. It was a type of chills moment. It's cool to see things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also before we just blow over Kavina, it's always great. The Walter Payton Man of the Year. If you aren't familiar with what it basically is the person who gives the most back, and it's just a phenomenal work. Every team kind of dedicates one, and so I don't truly really know what Jason was doing with the community, but for him to be given this representation for the Lions, just phenomenal work. Whatever it was he was doing, I'm sure it was extremely helpful and something we shouldn't just blow by. It's great for the community. It's great for Jason. I absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, 100%. So, boys, without further ado, let's dive into this dub. So it started off a little shaky. The Vikings kind of marched down the field, got a nice, easy field goal. Did they get a field goal before we went on that 4th and 1 and gave another field goal? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
No, they got the field goal before, and then they had the touchdown after.
Okay. No. They got back-to-back field goals to start because the Lions, the Lions were 4th and 1. This was the interesting call. We were 4th and 1 on our own 35, 40-yard line. And Dan Campbell decided to go for this one. So as all the, just super aggressive play calling as it's been, do you guys think we should still just kind of beating this hammer on the head or maybe ease it back a bit or what?
Kudos to Campbell for believing in his idea and not straying away from it, even in the darkest of times, even when everyone in the world, including myself, all of us on the show has said, stop, Goff cannot do these 4th down plays. What are we doing right now? He continues to, like you said, beat the nail on the head, hit it over and over and over. And it's a theme of this show because it happens again later on in the 4th quarter, and it's a very questionable call. Both of them are. For the last week or for the last month or two have said, stop this. We have Jack Fox punt the freaking ball. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We got to win. Who am I to say? I'm not questioning anything Dan did this game.
Exactly. And so before I cut you off real quick, Julius, what happened was Vikings start out, they punt, I believe it was not a 3-and-out, but they ended up getting to the 46 punting, giving it back to Detroit. The Lions made a nice little drive up to Detroit's 41-yard line in which we did a QB sneak on 4th and 1, did not get it, and it led to a Vikings field goal in which this was looking like the Vikings were going to score 7 right here. This was going to be the end of the game. But the defense stepped up great. And that was one thing Dan Campbell said in the locker room. He said the offense didn't put the defense in the best positions all game long. And the defense really stepped up by holding them to all these field goals and to holding them to not getting these 2-point conversions, which we'll get to as well. So, Julius, do you think the Jared Goff QB sneak was the right call, or would you maybe want a Jamal Williams up the middle or something else?
I'm not in agreement with any play that involves Jared Goff on 4th down. Okay, if Jared Goff got to be the one running it or passing it on 4th down, I'm gonna be pissed and it happened twice in that game. It happened on that 4th and 1. They did the QB sneak with him. I was screaming at the TV. Why did you pick that play, Dan Campbell? Why? And then towards the end of the game, which we're going to talk about on the 4th down, we missed at our 28. He decided to do a play action pass with Jared Goff when we were like an inch away from the 1st down. Both decisions I was pissed about because Jared Goff was the main, he was the main weapon involved in both of those. I would have went towards Jamal Williams or somebody. I would even. That we had a fullback sneak, I think on Thanksgiving with Jason Kabenda that was brilliant. I think it was on a 4th down play against the Bears. He gained 20 or 30 yards up the middle. I would have ran that play at least once. Anything but Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's actually a great call. Kabenda has had a couple nice fullback runs up the middle, and he's definitely a guy that could easily get those yards. So might have to consider that in the future. So Lions down 6-0. Then we march back. We get a touchdown on the board, and we have some life. It was Hockenson got the touchdown. Or no. Was it Hockenson that got our first touchdown? Yes, it was Hockenson. I don't know why I was looking at this wrong. So Hockenson got the first touchdown. Lions take the lead 7-6. And this was honestly seeming like a game that was just like the first Vikings game, in which the Lions were kind of getting dominated, but we were getting the touchdowns. We were getting, the big hits and holding the Vikings to, the bend don't break method. And honestly, it kind of worked in the end. I mean, honestly, it did work. So Lions, we have a 7-6 lead. And here's where it kind of got interesting. We ran it up quite a bit, getting to a 20-6 lead, in which Dan Campbell, I think, played this first half phenomenally. The Lions scored again, going up 14-6. And then I want to say we had a nice 3 or 4 and out on the Vikings, forced them to give us the ball back with about 6 minutes left. The Lions kick another field goal, so we take the lead 17-6. And then Campbell manages to get the ball back and get the Lions back down for another field goal, 26. So what do you guys grade at Dan Campbell this first half coaching performance, I guess?
First half against Minnesota?
Yeah.
I mean, we were dominating the game for the most part, offensively and defensively. I think Dan Campbell, I would have gave him an A, to be honest with that. But we went dry in the second half. All those field goals you just described, we could have put the game. You put the games away with touchdowns, and that is what, Jared Goff. With this offense, he's just not going to give us touchdowns. We need to try to. I think we need to take big shots with Goff. Who cares if he throws a lot of picks? We want to lose anyway. We already got our first win. Just start taking shots with Goff, man, because these field goals is just going to kill you anyway.
And that's how you answer this question. How did Dan Campbell do? Dan Campbell solely relies right now on Jared Goff. Dan Campbell is as good as Jared Goff is going to be, no matter what plays he calls to put out there. It's on Goff and the players to actually, go out and perform these plays on every game, every play. They need to be doing what they have to do. Jared Goff in the first half looked like a man on a mission. Looked like a dude who was not gonna take no for an answer. Was gonna rip this team up. Second half came. Vikings make second half adjustments, and no matter what Dan Campbell did, Jared Goff looked like a buffoon in the second half. He looked terrible. He couldn't throw the ball. But then you can get back to the Dan Campbell, which is what the question originally was from Adam. And on 3rd and 10, what do? We run it. Like 4th and 1 on our own 28 with 4 minutes to go, we go for it. Which I mean, I don't know if we want to dive right into that play right this second, but I do have something to say about that. Like,
let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so then I think had we punted right there, Vikings take 4 minutes, go down, kick a field goal to win, because we gave them the ball on the 28-yard line. No matter what, they were going to score that touchdown basically, and we kind of allowed it. We gave ourselves time. I think if Jack Fox punts that 80 yards and they get the ball at the 15-yard line, they drive and they score a field goal with 0 seconds to go, and we lose.
Just like the Bears on Thanksgiving. The same thing happened. You're right.
Yep. So I'm, as much as I hated that while we were going for it, and I'm like, you idiot. And why are you calling a play action pass play with Jared Goff? Campbell, like, it is time for you to go. I was ready to send him then. I was ready. I was done. I was done making excuses for him. I was like, this is embarrassingly dumb. But hindsight, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe that gave us an opportunity to win, actually.
It's kind of funny that you bring that up, Nick, because this game of Dan Campbell was seeming like the first half, this is our guy. We're going to get the win. Second half, oh my gosh, I want him out immediately. Yep. Last 2 minutes, extension, baby.
Statue.
Yeah. So it was just kind of it was weird on what happened. And I remember me and my dad, we were talking about it. I pulled the text up right now, and my dad said, that's effing fireable. And I was like, not a good call. I was not in on it at all. My dad said he was blaming on Campbell 100%. And to what you said, Nick, I think that did play a role of, let's just hope they kick a quick field goal. We can stop them 3 and out. or they score a touchdown and we have a minute 20, 40 seconds left, whatever, to try to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And ironically, I want to say the Vikings, it was so interesting because they had 3rd and 2 on the Detroit. No, I'm looking at this wrong. But they did have one play, I want to say, that got them to the Lions' 9-yard line. And had they gotten to like the 11 or the 10, then they would have been able to get that first down again, the 1-yard line, and basically run the clock out and pull what happened to us in the
last week.
Yeah, last week. I forget who. Anyway,
it was a little bit longer because it was.
I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad about the decision to go for it at that end in the game, and it might have been a blessing in disguise that we didn't get it. But I mean, Jared Goff fumbled. He fumbled. I mean,
it's such terrible too. Like
I would not
have
have
that guy right on him. He didn't have the wherewithal to know this guy was literally right. He still wound up for a pass. While this guy was a half a yard. The guy's eyes lit up. He was okay.
And you know why? Because we're going to talk about it a lot. He had time. He had time all day to throw. He did. Our line protected him. I give them an A. I give our offensive line pass protection an A. And I give their run blocking a B+. He just didn't. Receivers wasn't getting open, or he wasn't finding them. It was a lot of open. I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown open like 4 times, and Jared Goff just looked at somebody else.
So there's the best thing about football is there's games within games, right? It's a chess match. There's so many little things to break down. One of these things that we're overlooking as we sit here and talk about these 4th down plays, almost like weekly, the Detroit Lions didn't convert on a 3rd down until 59 minutes into the game. And for anyone who's not a football fan watching this show, just because they think we're, some sexy dudes, and I get that. I would watch the show too for that reason. But if you don't watch football, there's 60 minutes in a game. We went the first 59 minutes without getting a freaking 3rd down. There is no way an NFL team should ever win a football game when you lose the turnover battle by like 2, I'm pretty sure, by 2 or 3, and you don't complete 1 3rd down until the final minute of the game. There is no reason we were in this game. There was no reason that we won this game except coaching, in my opinion. I think the coaching, the defensive coaching, the play, like all these things. We were 0 for 8,000 on 3rd down, and yet we ended up winning this game. It was amazing. I think that is something that no one's going to talk about, and it should be talked about. One, on the positive note that we can pull games out like that and still get a victory, but B, on the negative side, Goff. You can't get me 1 3rd down. Campbell shouldn't have to be thinking of these 4th down plays. Goff can't complete 1 3rd down conversion. Most embarrassing thing I've ever saw. Luckily, you didn't really think about it. No fan thought about it, but
I'm counting them right now. If anyone's wondering what I'm doing, I'm making weird mouth movements and stuff. But 10. He's at 10 right now. Over 10. 0 for 11. And gets his first one on the final drive.
I think he gets 2, maybe 3 3rd downs on the final drive. Maybe just 1.
Yeah, I think he does get. Yeah, he gets 3. So he had 3rd and 10. Jared Goff. This was the one that I was talking about earlier. Little check down pass to Godwin Weekway, whatever his last name, how you pronounce it. But man, this was awesome. It was literally a check down in the right center of the field, and Aidan Weekway booked it to the out of bounds line. He made a dude miss, got out of bounds, and it stopped the clock and saved like 30, 40 seconds off the clock. It was
that play won us the game.
And he got first down too.
So I'm glad you say that, Julius, because let's go a little bit farther into this drive right here on this last drive. There is about 20 seconds, maybe 16 seconds to go, and it's 2nd and 10, I believe. Jared Goff throws a ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it's incomplete. But if you watch the game, what happens is he overthrows Amon-Ra St. Brown. The safety picks it in the end zone, catches the ball cleanly, and Amon-Ra bats it out of his hand backwards and makes the biggest play of the game. Because Goff not only did that, with a minute and like 10 to go, threw a pass over the middle to Hawkinson while Hawkinson was getting double covered, and the guy hit Hawkinson and almost picked the ball off right then. 2 safety plays. Both of them, defender had ball in hand. Neither of them, they came down. One, it was just dropped. The second one, Amon-Ra St. Brown, had the biggest defensive play out of the entire game. That's what kept that alive. And it was, I believe, the very next play. That was the second to last play.
Yeah.
The very next play, he goes back to Amon-Ra, who he had gone to 4 or 5 times in the drive for that freaking touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the unsung god in this game, wouldn't have won without him. Would not have won the game without him.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
He's a baller.
Or is he the unsung god?
Oh, love that. I love that.
In case you're wondering, Amon-Ra's name comes from the Egyptian term sun god, as that's what his dad named him for. But yeah, we also did have a couple other bright spots in this game in which the defense was looking pretty good. And by pretty good, I want to bring up 2 guys that have just impressed me every single time I've seen them play. And that's Jerry Jacobs and Charles Harris. 2 guys we weren't even expecting to sniff the field, really. And now you have Charles Harris, who's playing like a first rounder, in which he was a first rounder. So he's finally brought out that, inner strength, inner beast mode or whatever, but has now up to, I want to say like 7 or 8 sacks on the season, had 2 last game, 2 big ones. And honestly, is just stepping up immensely for Okora, Trey Flowers, Jamie Collins, any defender that's just missing. Even though Jamie Collins is a big miss, but he's still a body. So he has sacks. 8 sacks. So Charles Harris doing great. And then Jerry Jacobs. I'm not even sure if Jerry Jacobs was drafted or if he was like a 6th, 7th pick. Yes, undrafted. And honestly, he is playing like a top 7 cornerback, top 10 cornerback in the league. I mean, I haven't watched all the cornerbacks heavily, but PFF has given him phenomenal grades. He has been a phenomenal tackler, a great defender. He's just been a ball hawk. This is a true guy who has the talent of an NFL player, did not get the recognition, and is only getting the opportunity because he's on this crappy Detroit Lions team. So I will say it's those 2 guys that you can, find some light in a bad season like this. So honestly, going forward, the Lions could have a legit defense next year. So besides those 2 guys, is there any other defensive MVP you give it to? Obviously, Amani's up there, but I think Jerry Jacobs, he's probably getting it right now.
Yeah, there are a lot. I think not standing out in the stat sheet, I think Alex Anzalone holds our defense together. He is the quarterback of that defense. He is one of the best linebackers that we've had in the last 5 years. Fabio, obviously. I mean, he just, beautiful man running out there with his hair flying around like that. So I definitely would say he's right up in there. Amani obviously has been shut down. However, I do want to talk about Amani in the Vikings game and what he allowed Justin Jefferson to do to us and what Jefferson could be moving forward. And I'll get to that in a sec. But defensively, I think you're absolutely right. I think Charles Harris is right up there, obviously, with 8 sacks. What did Okora have last year? 10.5 and led our team, right? So
yes,
if he can get over that, that's awesome for Charles Harris. Like that's kind of where the bar is at for me, at least. But yeah, Jerry Jacobs. Actually, before I get right to it, Tracy Walker also needs to be mentioned. Just as at least maybe not MVP, but biggest step forward kind of thing. But Jerry Jacobs, to be this undrafted free agent, it's unbelievable. This happens in the NFL, and it doesn't happen as often as you think, but you hear about it a lot, so you know it. Like, it's always awesome to hear these stories. A guy who could have easily just been a car salesman in 2 years and never had an opportunity, but instead, was grinding, got one shot to come to the skeleton crew, took advantage when it was his turn and do your job. You in the NFL, if you don't take advantage of the first 3 or 4 plays that you play in the NFL, you may never see another play again. You know what I mean? So he took advantage of it, and he has not let go. I love this, and I hope that Jerry Jacobs becomes an amazing person moving forward. But at least just for this year, he is absolutely the defensive MVP. This far in the season for me, definitely.
Absolutely. Julius, other than these guys mentioned, anyone you can think of?
I mean, I guess shout out to Derek Barnes because I still see this dude making plays. Derek Barnes is the most noticeable young defender I think we have in terms of sideline to sideline explosion on the ball.
Well,
Now
hold on.
he's still what was that?
I'll say before you get into it, he is the reason Riley Patterson, rookie Lions new kicker, didn't have to stress making an extra point to win the game. And that's because Derek Barnes filled the gap perfectly on an Alex Madison 2-point conversion when the Vikings scored. And Barnes right up, I don't know if it was the A or B gap, but he hit perfectly, made the one-on-one tackle, and it was just a thing of beauty. But continue, Julius.
You're right. You're exactly right. That was a huge play, not letting them tie the game at that point, which, we kept the lead. We couldn't keep it towards the end, but at that point, it's huge. But Derek Barnes, he has instincts. His on the field awareness, particularly on play action in the passing game, can improve. And so we'll see if he can take a next step going towards the end of the season, going towards the off season, going towards next year. And Alan McNeil had a great game. He probably had his best game as a Lion. I know it don't show up on the stat sheet because nose tackles stats don't really exist. But Alan McNeil was plugging. I think after halftime, one of the adjustments that the Minnesota's offense made was double teaming him because he was pushing through that middle and it was causing issues. And also, shout out to Charles Harris. I know you already said it, but Charles Harris needs to be on the team next year and a part of the plans. Jerry Jacobs does too. And so many others on defense. There's Levi, Alex Anzalone. I wouldn't mind him coming back again. AJ Parker, even though he's not on the field, he showed what he can do in the nickel. Monty Aurorier got 5 interceptions. Tracy Walker looks like a near Pro Bowler. We all hoped he'd be. The defense is hopeful. It's very, very hopeful. And with a couple more pieces, a couple more explosive pieces, and more development from the guys we've already mentioned, the Lions could have a great, great defense that we can be hopeful for as soon as next season.
Which we absolutely need because, as I alluded to earlier, Justin Jefferson isn't going anywhere. That dude is a beast. He
gets open so easily.
He's one of the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, and we get to see him twice a year.
It's bye-bye Devontae Adams. Hello, Justin Jefferson.
Exactly. Wow, that's great for the Lions. Yes. Come on, we trade one out, we'll get another one in. Justin Jefferson's going to be a pain, and Amani O is a very talented cornerback. I think he's one of the most underrated talented quarterbacks. He was guarding him, I believe it was like 10 of the 13 catches. He ripped him up. And if Amani O is going to be our number 1 cornerback, you got to be tighter. You got to be better against Justin Jefferson. That is one of the tough things that I'll say about the defense. However, I'll keep everyone on our defense. Our defense is so improved. I love it. 3 2-point conversions attempts for the Vikings. 0 for 3. 2 run attempts, 1 pass attempt. Lions stood strong on every single one. Flipping amazing. I love that.
And we dropped like 3 interceptions. Will Harris dropped a pick. Who else dropped a pick? It was a few like straighten your hands. Oh my God, I dropped it. That could have been a turnover. Yep. The Lions get the defense, man. I'm telling you, against Denver, they might look even better. And out there in the Mile High, Denver's offense is so we'll see.
We'll be getting to that too, but you might.
We got to get into future games. We got to talk about future games, W's and L's.
It's going to get interesting. I will say we do have some help in which the other bottom 2 teams, the Jaguars and the Texans, will have to play each other one more time. So either both are getting a tie or one team's getting a loss. So that will help us in case the Lions do want to mess around and go on a little win streak or something. But Brock Wright, another guy who had his first career touchdown, and he is a tight end. So this was nice to see little pieces like this taking steps up. I want to say this is like, have you guys seen Brock Wright make it so far in the season yet? I feel like this was his first reception he got, but he made it count. It was a phenomenal grab over, I want to say, at least 1, maybe 2 guys in the end zone. And Brock Wright showing that he can be that tight end 2 spot, which has been pretty like empty for the Lions. We've had a numerous amount of guys come through. Darren Fells has not worked out. So hopefully Brock Wright can. And
just to update, Brock Wright coming into the game had 2 catches for 14 yards in the season. Finished game against Vikings, 2 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown.
I want to see him be like our new Joe Fourier type guy. That's like Mr. Touchdown, comes in and gets like 2 touchdowns.
If he's got dance moves like Fourier, I'm very okay with it.
Joe Fourier was on this show. He was on this show. He was a guest. It was amazing. The guy is funny. And but Brock Wright, he looks like a decent number 2 option as a blocker and as a receiver. He seems to have some skill. Shout out to everybody watching right now. We got a lot of people watching, commenting. John on YouTube said Jared Goff the GOAT. Tom Thumb.
Wait. He said Jared Goff can go, or Jared Goff is the GOAT?
No, he said Jared Goff, the GOAT. Hey,
good overall at throwing bad passes.
Tell me you didn't love Jared Goff when that touchdown hit Amon-Ra St. Brown arm.
Did you guys see the pass though? It was a wobbler, legit. Man. It was a good ball.
He was surprised. He knew where he was going to go too. He was surprised. It wobbled.
I think
he was
Goff
so scared.
Was more or less like, you got to imagine he in his inner thoughts was like, I'm about to throw an interception. This is going to be incomplete. I'm about to get sacked. One of these same old. I know how Lions are. It's been 12 weeks.
Don't put that shit on the Lions, Jared Goff. That's you.
Jared Goff rolled out, got outside the pocket. I don't know if he outside the pocket. Had a clean pocket. Amon-Ra right kind of making that little break in the middle-ish left side of the end zone.
It was the Vikings' fault.
His eyes must have just lit up, just knowing, oh my God, this is it. Like, and Goff was probably
effed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, this comment though by Tom Thumb on Facebook might have to grab the Lions D next week. I'm guessing you're talking about fantasy. That's might not be a bad idea. Denver's offense is like 22nd and VOA or whatever.
Javonte Williams runs over our defense 5 times in a row.
They have a decent O-line and decent run game, and it's in Denver. We'll see. It's a nice little test for our defense. But to grab them in fantasy, that's not a bad idea because they have been shown to turn the ball over quite a bit.
Yeah. And then also another thing that's kind of been swept under the radar / not really, but some of you may not have realized Penei Sewell is an all-pro. Love my buddy John. Goff is the GOAT. Yes, sir. But yeah, Penei Sewell, he is the real deal, man. And we did not need to see 2 seasons. We didn't even need to see like a full season. We're 10, 12 games in, and we know this dude's the real deal. Penei Sewell has been playing the best right tackle out amongst all of any right tackles in the NFL. PFF has him graded as one of the best. He's just been phenomenal. He did take, when he was playing left tackle, he was a little bit, I guess, worse pass blocker, but kind of makes sense. He was training right tackle in the offseason. But now back at right tackle, I think this is going good moving forward. A lot of the Lions fans haven't even brought up, we need to move Penei toward left tackle. We need to trade Decker. That's just a thing in the past. It's Decker's our left-hand man, and Sewell is our right guy, and this is going to work. So
it's awesome. It is so awesome. Just the top notch. And you know what? It's like he played left tackle. It's like, when you're on deck, right? And you're swinging the bat with a donut on the bat, right? Real weighted down donut. And you're swinging this heavy bat. You're playing left tackle. Then all of a sudden they're like, hey, Boot, I need you to go to right tackle. You take the donut off and that bat's light as shit. You're swinging. Right tackle, he's throwing people around left and right. He's like picking them up, throwing them. He's got everyone's coming on the left side. Everyone wants to get on the blind side of Goff because they know how terrible pocket presence he has. What terrible pocket presence he has. So on the right side, Penei's out here living the life, man. He's like in Hawaii, like living the dream. Like hopefully he can make the Pro Bowl. Year 1 Pro Bowl, that'd be amazing. So
I think he absolutely deserves to make it. But Lions fan base, Lions media, we shall see. So hopefully he does. But all in all, honestly, I think I am impressed with Brad Holmes' first round draft pick, I guess, this year. But I'm also not, in a sense of he could have taken Jamar Chase or Michael Parsons, who are two guys we were very high on, and that would have been home runs. So honestly,
well, I think Jamar Chase was drafted right before us. We couldn't have drafted.
Yeah, you're right. But what I was getting at
But
is
Parsons.
if the Bengals did take Sewell, that we would have probably taken Chase or Parsons. But all in all, the Lions were likely hitting it out of the park on that first round. So it's nice to see that the tides are turning in our draft luck.
Also, I feel like we're starting to get towards the wrapping upness of this amazing fun win recap and maybe moving on to other things. And I want to just get one thing out, and I want to talk to you guys about one last thing before, if we do, or if not, I'm just going to bring it up now. We win the game, right? Goff throws this immediate touchdown, and what does he do first? He runs right to Campbell. Everyone was so excited for Campbell for this. You know that this team is like, he has got them. Like, we're all in it. We're in it with Dan Campbell. There is no more. Is Dan Campbell the guy next year? Like, Dan Campbell is our guy for at least another 2 years with this one win, which seems quite ridiculous to say out loud, but it's 100% true. He got this one win. Campbell will be over there. There is no more. Is Campbell going to be fired or not? Like, he is off the hot seat. He's got the statue being built for him. Like, it's awesome to see that that's what Goff's first reaction was. Not Amon-Ra St. Brown, not the fans, not himself. It was Dan. I'm going to freaking hug Dan. Dan deserves this win more than Goff, more than the Lions fans, sorry to say, more than Sheila Ford, more than Brad Holmes. Dan Campbell needed this victory. We could see it week in and week out with his pressers after a loss. He needed this win. You could see the energy when just talking about the win. Like, I'm so happy that was Goff's first reaction. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it. And you're right. Dan Campbell deserved this the most because, I mean, the dude cried at the podium. When was that? After
Baltimore game.
Minnesota, I think it was. It was Minnesota. After Minnesota. And, you know, he knew how hard these guys been working to win this game. So, I mean, I'm just happy for him, you know, and he dedicated the whole thing to Oxford. That was amazing. You know, he really Dan Campbell is a leader. And like I told y'all, how many times did I say, go back and listen to our old episodes? We need one win. Dan Campbell, not even say we. I didn't even say the Lions. Dan Campbell needs one win for his culture to spread, to prosper and move on and build and hope. And he got it. You're exactly right. And if he would not have got it, our conversations right now would be different. Our conversation at the end of this season at 16-1 would be vastly different. We'd be talking about, is this dude, are we wasting our time with this dude? Do we need to just make a quick switch? But no, we're not thinking that now. Now we can't wait to see what happens with Dan Campbell. You're exactly right. With one win, he's here for the next 2 years, guaranteed. Yes. Dan Campbell is our head coach.
Yes,
amen.
Sir.
And then also, like, because you mentioned Oxford, just real quick, before the game, Jalen Elliott, number 42 for the Lions, wears a Tate Mir jersey. Well, it's also number 42. It's just awesome respect and you know, obviously rest in peace and prayers to everyone. But I just thought that was a super cool thing for Jalen Elliott to do, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, going about just the Lions and, you know, everything that happened with Oxford and Michigan was kind of just in a state of distress. And we were kind of on national media, and it wasn't for the, you know, any type of good reasons. So the whole state of Michigan just needed something to, you know, pick their spirits up. And boy, this win was it. It reunited all the Lions community because there was some going back and forth. If the Lions don't win a game, Dan Campbell, should he be fired? Should he come back? I don't know. But he won a game. And honestly, I think every single Lions fan can agree now that that's all we needed to see. He's here, guaranteed next year, likely 2 years, unless something crazy happens, you know. But all in all, this was just huge for the community. I think this is a big step moving forward. And honestly, you know, seeing, I'm sure you guys saw that locker room video of the Lions just celebrating, like, honestly, like they won the Super Bowl. It was so cool. Sheila Ford-Hamp was in there with the Lions, which was kind of surprising to me, in which Martha Ford would never be anywhere near the locker room after the Lions winning their first win. So it was cool to see her in there. I'm kind of buying into Sheila quite a bit and believing that she's in on the Lions. She actually cares about the team, cares about the organization. So it's going up from here, boys. We hit rock bottom. We were 11-1 or whatever, and we were at the bottom, and now we are shooting up. Only can head up from here.
Quick question. Do we tank or do we not tank? Do the Lions go on a stupid winning streak like SOL Lions would do? Or do we just lose and get first overall, and then we can discuss Hutchinson or Thibodeaux?
We're winning some games. I hate to break the news, boys.
Don't say
Denver.
that, man.
We're gonna get a 2-game winning streak.
They're gonna lose to Denver. They're gonna lose.
Isn't Atlanta the very next week?
Yeah.
We're about to have a 3-game winning streak. We're gonna get the fourth pick, and we'll lose to Seattle, Green Bay to finish out the season. That's my guess. That's from experience.
Could you imagine if somehow, so after the Broncos game and right before the Falcons game, we play the Cardinals? Could you imagine the Cardinals still had the best record at the time and we beat them?
No, that's SOL. I don't want none of that SOL. I want Dan Campbell. I want us to lose to the Broncos 13-10. Okay, I want our defense to just dominate them, but we still lose. So I pretty much want every game to be like that.
Yeah,
I will say, if the Lions do manage to squeak out a win against the Broncos, the other two teams, the Texans and the Jaguars, still likely could get a win, in which the Texans Jaguars play each other week 15. So Texans in Jacksonville week 15. So let's say the Jaguars get that win. So then the Texans would need to lose to the Texans would need to beat the Seahawks, the Chargers, the 49ers, or the Titans. So,
well, that don't sound like it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's looking like the Texans are only going to see
Lions
one win max, and the Jaguars are looking at one. Oh, here we go, boys. Here we go. The Jaguars play the Jets week 16. So if the Texans beat the Jaguars in week 15 and the Jaguars beat the Jets week 16, the Lions could win 2 games and still get the number 1.
I'm cool with them winning 2 games. Win one more, but do not win 3. Do not win 3. And Aidan Hutchinson was born to be a Lion and resurrect our franchise. It's written in stone. We have to tank for this man, okay? This guy is from Metro Detroit, the University of Michigan legend. We have to have him. He's our JJ Watt. Okay.
Shout out to Michigan too. I felt like there was a lot of doubt going into that Iowa game. Like, you got that, but are you really, and they just creamed them. There was no ifs, ands, or buts from game start. Shout out Michigan. Aidan Hutchinson has been selected to go to New York as being a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Shout out to him. Just good things. Good things. Like you were saying, we needed this Lions win, but it wasn't just that. The Red Wings got a win and Michigan got the win. It was just an amazing Michigan weekend. It seems like we've been having multiple amazing Michigan sports weekends, back to back to back. So it's super awesome. Good for Michigan. I seriously hope that they got Georgia, right?
They got Georgia.
What do you think, boys? Win?
I
think Georgia overrated.
I'm not going to.
Michigan, the battle of the Titans in the final.
Honestly, I think Michigan, they were kind of disrespected a bit. I mean, no disrespect to Alabama and them dominating Georgia for the SEC championship, but when Michigan wins 42-3 in the Big Ten championship, you gotta give it something.
I think Michigan the best team in the country. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now. I think they're better than Alabama and Georgia. I think they're the best coach team in the nation. I think they're the toughest team in the nation. They have the best offensive line. I think they could beat both teams, and that's not even being a Michigan slappy. And what they did against Ohio State and then what they did against Iowa, as a Wolverine fan personally, it felt like if the Lions won a playoff game. That's how I feel right now about Michigan.
You know what the worst thing about college football is, though? Now we're like all excited. Michigan got that win, and now it's like, I guess I'll wait 4 weeks to watch them freaking play it.
I hate that.
What are we doing?
That is so true.
Why they wait so long? We got to wait all the way to New Year's Eve?
It's so annoying.
Build the suspense. But yeah, ironically, my buddy John brings up an interesting point. We do not want to see another situation. Yeah, the Lions didn't go on a win streak in 2019, but we did win enough games to push us to just outside that 1 or 2 spot, missing Joe Burrow and Chase Young, leaving us for Jeff Okudah.
It was the tie in Arizona, remember?
Yep, it was the tie.
That's what it was.
And guess what?
With that again.
Guess what we did this year?
No, I do not want. No,
the tie.
So yeah, hopefully the Lions don't get crazy, but I mean, I don't know.
Ain't it crazy though that Jerry Jacobs almost make you forget who Jeffrey Okudah is? Like, this the 3rd overall pick. I mean, I know he got hurt, but I don't even think
it's
about
nice.
I don't even think about Jeff Okudah.
It makes
Okudah plans. I don't think about him.
His return is going to be so nice because there's no way the media will be just, oh, can Okudah return to first-round talent? Can he return? Gets that, this, that. It's going to be Jerry Jacobs and Amani O are filling in perfectly while Jeff Okudah recovers. And then once Okudah does recover, it's just kind of extra icing on the cake with him. And granted,
I just hope he recovers and he turns into something and he doesn't just complicate things with our cornerback room. And you know what I'm saying? You know, if he's not good enough, if he comes back not good enough or not the same player or, you know, loses a little bit, doesn't grow mentally or something, then he can't play above guys like Amani O and Jerry Jacobs and AJ Parker. So what do we do with him? If he's the 3rd overall pick, he got the ego, might have to let him go early. Hopefully he comes back strong, though.
What if we would have just drafted Isaiah Simmons with that 3rd pick?
We'd be perfect right now. Our defense would be world renowned.
Yeah, he's right. Also, another guy who dropped in that draft, 12th overall, goes to Tampa Bay. Tristan Wirfs, tackle, an amazing tackle.
Oh, my God.
Super Bowl winner. Also, Mekhi Becton, who has been getting injured, but is still an amazing tackle for the Jets. Went right after C.J. Henderson.
Who's
very
the
good cornerback
from Dallas right now that's murking the league on defense?
Trevon Diggs. He was 2nd round.
Not Trevon Diggs, but I'm thinking of the other one. Micah Parsons.
Oh, okay.
I remember he got mocked to us 100 times. Now he on his way to Hall of Fame his rookie year.
Well, yeah, but I mean, would you rather have Mika or Penne? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's Penne on the way to Hall of Fame too. So
yeah,
great point.
Tit for tat. You know, tomato.
I love Sewell. I love Sewell. If I can go back in time, I'd probably make the same pick.
Yeah, I agree. I probably would also make the same pick. Especially just, I feel like edge rushers are more injury prone and do not have as long a shelf life as offensive linemen. So we might actually get a little bit more out of Sewell moving forward in the future.
True.
Yeah, definitely. And also, you know, we've kind of started to see the narrative of if you can build a good offensive line, you can win a Super Bowl. And
not with Jared Goff.
Yeah, it's a good point. Linebacker, I mean, granted, there has been a few that have, you know, Ray Lewis, Lawrence Taylor type guys that can get you the Super Bowl. And Mike Parsons could be that guy. Still, I still think that offensive line is the safer position than, I guess, linebacker, defensive end.
You're 100% right. You always have to build from the trenches. If you have the best trenches on the offense and defense, you have one of the best teams in the NFL. It doesn't matter who your supporting cast is, as long as number 16, Jared Goff, isn't your starting quarterback. You will be good to go and definitely Super Bowl bound.
Those trenches need a quarterback or they're just going to be trenches.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So we are on a 1-game win streak, and we head to the dark depths of Denver next week, in which we'll face Teddy Bridgewater, possibly Melvin Gordon. He was out last week, so he might not be active this week, which honestly I kind of hope he is, because I do not want to see a full workload of Javonte Williams, because I think that dude's a complete freak of nature. And Melvin Gordon seems to be a little bit not as bruiser type guy as he once was. So Teddy Bridgewater, obviously a quarterback that won't go up and put, 30 points on the Lions. So as long as the Lions can just kind of keep the Broncos in check, not make any foolish mistakes, I think Jared Goff has started to get a lot better with that and not making, a lot of bad mistakes. As long as he has one or less each game, that's fine by me. So Broncos, what percent chance do you guys think we could get a win here?
Solid 50-50 right now.
50%.
Solid toss-up. Both of these teams don't deserve to win. One of them's going to win.
Denver's at home, so I give them 51.
Yeah, I'll get that. And it's a mile high, a little bit different for the players. I'll give them 52.
You guys might be wondering why my jaw just dropped here, and that's because I'm looking at this spread, and guess what the spread is? There's no way you guys can guess it.
The
Lions are not favored.
They are not favored.
Okay, then I'm going to say Denver -6.
Julius?
Denver -7.
Denver -8.
Wow.
So they're saying a full score game, the old 8-pointer, in which makes me believe smash the Lions. I don't know if this is Vegas looking at this as like a type of trap game where the Lions are riding a high win and get back to their normal selves, and Denver actually has a legit defense too and could likely get a pick 6 or 3-4 turnovers off this Lions offense. So I don't know, but for me, the Lions plus 300, I might have to sprinkle a little bit on that, boys. Plus 8. I'm 100% going to tease the Lions at like a plus 8.5 because I can't imagine Lions losing by 2 scores. Can you guys?
No, not really. We haven't lost by 2 scores since like week 5.
Yeah. Unless the weather is just horrible and Jared Goff's small hands can't hold the ball, I don't think we're going to lose by more than a touchdown.
The over-under is set at 42. So, man, that's weird. They're saying this is like a
23-20.
Yeah, yep, yeah. 23-20 type game, which I guess I could see. But I'm liking, I don't know. I want the Lions. We're back in this same situation as all Lions fans always are at the end of the year, in which we got that feeling of we want to root for our Lions, but we don't want to lose the draft stock. We don't want to give up our Aidan Hutchinson, our Kayvon Thibodeaux.
I don't.
It's like we can't get past 2. I mean, if we win a couple games and get that 2 spot, I'm okay with it. Nick, love your cat there.
The mascot, Honolulu Blues.
That mascot. He's a good mascot.
And yes, actually, my grandma actually loves your cat too, Nick. She was watching with my mom a couple weeks back when you were playing with her paws that one episode.
Can I make a public plea?
My grandma loved that.
Plea to Dan Campbell real quick before we make score predictions? Please, Tank. Do not do the same old Lion thing and be, we're going to win. We're a tough team. We can carry it over to next season. No. I want a generational pass rusher. Dan Campbell, please be conservative with the play calling, at least.
Yeah, he's not going to listen to that.
Not going to look. If we go on a 3-4 game winning streak, I swear to God, I'm be pissed. I'm be just as pissed if they went 0-16. I promise.
Back in the day, the Lions were like
1-9,
and we ended up finishing the season 6-10, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to carry momentum over to the next season."
Oh.
We went like 5-11 the next season. Like, there's no such thing as carrying momentum over to the next.
With the 11th overall pick, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I brought this question up to you last year, Nick, and I was like, would you rather want the Lions to get on a little win streak because we had lost like 10 or something in a row after, going like 3-5 or whatever. But I was asking, should we go on a little win streak here, get some momentum at next season? You were like, hell no. And what ended up happening is we got the 3. I mean, it didn't really work out, but had we won a couple games, we would have been like the 6th or 7th pick, not the 3rd pick. So granted, it might have worked out better for us, but you get my point.
Yeah, absolutely. Never try to Just tank. If you're not making playoffs, just tank. That's what you gotta do.
I agree. So, all right, boys. What do we got for score predictions? I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to go 17-16. I think the Lions get a victory. Another Jared Goff game-winning drive. Not a walk-off. He's not going to throw a touchdown. No time left. It's going to be 3 seconds left on the clock. Just enough for a squib kick down the middle. Game over. Lions win 17-16.
Julius?
I don't know what the weather is going to be like because that will make a lot of decisions change offensively for Dan Campbell and company with their play calling. However, I believe that Denver has a decent enough defense to hold Jared Goff low scoring. So, but I also think that our defense is going to do the same thing to their offense in a way. And each team might get a turnover touchdown or each team might get a breakaway run, But at the end of the day, I think Denver squeaks by 14-13 on a game-winning field goal to keep our Aidan Hutchinson hopes surely alive.
I see how it is, Julius. Lions win a game, and now it's we barely lose the games.
Listen, the last show, you didn't hear this tone from me. I was begging for one win for Dan Campbell and what he's building and everything that it is the Lions right now. We needed that win. We needed that game-winning catch by Amon St. Brown so much. We really did as a fan base, as an organization. Now we got it. Now, what's the next thing we need? We need a generational pass rusher like Aidan Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeaux, okay? And it's sitting right there in our laps. 5 games remaining. We cannot go on no stupid SOL losing streak. I mean, winning streak. I'm sorry. We cannot. If we have to get either 1 or 2. I was telling Nick before the show, 1 or 2, and if we can get 2 wins. 2 wins will probably could give us the first overall pick still. If you look at it, if you look at the schedule, you just explained it so well, Adam. But 3-4 wins, you knocking on the door of getting kicked out the generational pass rusher window. 14-13 Broncos.
Like it.
So the Broncos have not scored over 20 points in 4 of the last 6 games they've played. The Lions haven't beat the Broncos in the past 10 years. Last time we won, Tim Tebow was the quarterback in 2011. The last time we played the Broncos, David Blau had the Lions up 17-13 at the end of the 3rd quarter. But in the 4th quarter, we gave away the lead, and we ended up losing off a Phillip Lindsay touchdown run. 54 degrees and sunny in Denver on Sunday per now. Doesn't seem too bad. This game's definitely going under 42. I can tell you, smash that under right now. Okay. Kirk Cousins is a lot better of a quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater, and they had a hard time getting up to that 20-point mark. It wasn't until we really tried to throw the game away that were they able to do that. We're going to hold Teddy Bridgewater to 13 points. Jared Goff can't score more than 20. Well, I guess he did last week, but normally he can't score more than 20. So we're going to just, you go with the odds. So there's no way we can score more than 20. Lions win this game 19-13.
I like it. I like it. Keep it simple. We're all in the teens here. I like it. Definitely not going to be a high-scoring game. And honestly, I don't know if the weather wouldn't play much to a factor on. I feel like either team, honestly. Maybe Denver, if it's like a real, I don't know how the altitude changes, but if it's the air's real extra thin there, then that maybe it will give Denver an extra bump. But other than that, I think we're looking at a low-scoring game. The good thing for, I guess, the Lions, if you're hoping they lose out like Julius and get that 1-2 spots, the Broncos are 6-6 and still kind of in the playoff hunt. And honestly, they cannot lose to the Lions if they want to make playoffs because the Lions are their by far easiest team the rest of the way. They have the Lions, Bengals, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs. And honestly, if you're a Broncos fan, you should feel confident enough to win like 2, 3, 4 probably not 5, but all those games, honestly, are winnable. I mean, the Chiefs won, maybe not, but the Broncos were hanging for a minute until things got ugly. But all in all, this is a good team that's going to try to compete and not tank as if, we were playing a team like the Jaguars or the Texans, where it would kind of just be a tank battle in which both teams would be trying to lose. But don't have it here. I think the Broncos are going to try to really win this game. And all in all, I don't think it's going to happen. Lions 17-16. I think we get the dub. But yeah, guys, got any other extra comments?
Go Lions, big W. Feel
Go
good.
Lions.
This was a great show.
It's going to be
great to after a win.
Yes, sir.
It's a great week. It's Tuesday. We can just enjoy this. If the Lions win against the Broncos, honestly, I'm going to get worried. But I will still be cool with the win. But if they lose and it's a close and entertaining game, I'll be very, very happy. I'll keep this same feeling I got going for the rest of the season because I am hopeful for the offseason. Go Lions.
See, how I look at it is if the Lions can beat the Broncos, we can absolutely beat the Falcons or maybe the Seahawks. And
Thanks.
I say maybe the Seahawks because they're kind of been weird. And it's kind of just if Russell Wilson's in his groove or not. So if we can kind of keep Wilson in check or if he's not having his best game, then we can definitely beat the Seahawks. Their defense is not good. Their offense isn't what it once was. They've kind of just been in funk this season. And the Falcons, Calvin Ridley still taking time off. It's pretty much just Kyle Pitts running the offense with old man Matt Ryan. So the Falcons, I believe, are they're 5-7. So worse record than the Broncos. So yeah, if we beat the Broncos, Lions fans may have to be worried that we might go on a little streaky streak. So knock on wood that we still get that first or second round or overall pick. But all in all, I still think it happens.
Great show.
Yes, sir. Oh, I like the little change up here.
Whoa.
But, thank you everyone for joining in. As always, we are the Honolulu Blues Show. You can check us out on Twitter at Honolulu Blues _. Check out Nick on Twitter at Nick Faber NFL and check out Julius on Twitter at The Fifth Top. And always, you can check out myself on Twitter at EverydayFFB. And as always, go Lions, boys. We will be back on next Tuesday, likely. If not, we'll have the announcement out before the episode, as always. And thanks, everyone, for joining in. Thanks, Mom, for the great job. Hope you're having a good night. And we will see you guys all.
Go Lions. Go Blue.
Go
Lions and go Blue.
Just fight me. I'm just